Hi, everyone. This is Sabrisha, and you're listening to the Tea and Books chat, where we have conversations that are filled with books and the tea. Follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. So, we normally interview authors, but we figured we'll give the audience a chance to get to know your hosts of this podcast. So, I hope you enjoy this very special episode. So, first up, we're going to talk about a recent event that Whitney and and Whitney, you can come off
Hello.
mic.
Hello. I
Yeah.
probably I probably should have introduced ourselves in the intro. That's fine.
Yeah. It's okay. We're learning along the way.
Yes.
And
That's
so
not
that,
our first time doing this, mind you.
no, it's not. So recently, Whitney and I went to a independent bookstore for an event, the Taylor and Co. bookstore in Ditmars Park, Brooklyn. And when we went to see Tara Shelton Harris talk about her latest book, Where the Wildflowers Grow. It came out in February, but she's currently on tour, and Brooklyn was one of her stops. And we recently met her at ALA talking about this book, and it was really great to see her once again. And she did a reading from this book, and it was a beautiful reading. And I'm really looking forward to hunkering down and reading this book. So if you, for our audience members who do not have a chance to have not had a chance to read it, probably if you want to know a little bit about it, it is a tale of grief about a woman who survived a harrowing ordeal and heals at a wildflower farm in Alabama. So if you did read it, let us know what you think. We're gonna when we post this on our website and page, like let us know in the comments. But let's briefly talk about like the event. So Whitney, what did you think of the event?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, we live in the like it's just it the journey there was a lot, but
Yeah,
like
that was not the fun part, especially since that day it decided like all the trains were
yeah, all the
not
trains
gonna.
were messed up
Yeah.
that day. So I was like, amazing. That was the day all of the trains decided they weren't to work. They didn't want to work. Like, I mean, lucky for me, I was already working in Midtown, so like the commute there wasn't too bad. But Tabrija had to come all the way from the Bronx, and that was like the worst. But I will say the area that the bookstore is in is really cute and really
Mhm.
quaint because um there's like lots of cute restaurants, coffee shops, bubble tea, if you if that's
Yeah.
what you're into, lot like sushi, ramen places,
It's like a nice
coffee
area.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's a nice area if you want to like spend a day. Like there you can like there's like various of different things that you could do
Yeah.
in like in that area. And if you are coming so far like we are, you
Yeah.
can spend the
You
day.
and you should spend the day to get your $3 worth for
Yes.
sure. To get your $3 worth. But the bookshop itself it's hard. I liked it, full stop, super cute. We did not get to see it as it's normally set up because they had like moved furniture around and like stuff and like put chairs out by the time I got there. I was the first one there, mind you. Because I think I was just lucky enough to have an easy commute. I don't know about anybody else. Um, but there were chairs set out, but they didn't have so you couldn't see it how it was normally done. But I like the vibe. It's very tight in like a cozy way, not in like a
Mhm.
claustrophobic way. And it's black owned or
I believe so,
yeah,
yes.
it's black owned. We met like one of the proprietors. He was
Mhm.
fantastic. But he was very he- jokey, sarcastic, but not in like a mean way. So I couldn't really like tell if he was serious, if whether or not he owned it or not. But he was a treat. I think his name was Andrew.
I we'll have to look it up and
We'll have to
verify.
look it up and verify. And if they followed the blog on Instagram. So if they see
Mhm,
this and they watch it, so we apologize for getting your name wrong. But he was a treat, and he was such a great host. He had champagne for everybody. Um, and what I liked about it is like all of the Black authors, especially with new titles coming out, were really at the forefront, really put on display. Tabrisha and
mhm,
I are comic buffs, and so they had a really nice comic display. I wish I got to kind of twirl through it a little bit more, but that was like the purpose of us being there. And then they had a cute little like YA children's corner off to the side, which every
mhm,
bookstore should have like a very specific section for their 18 and under, for their 17 and under crowd. Um,
mhm.
but other than that, it was a cute little place. What did you think about it, Teresa?
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was like I like cozy kind of settings in a bookstore instead of like I would attend like book events at Barnes and Noble, and there's like this huge audio auditorium style kind of seating, and that can be intimidating. And because especially like it's just like this big massive space,
Yeah.
and you really don't get to like that intimate kind of setting or one-on-one kind of feeling with the author. And like with what this bookstore really it really provides that. And it's like you said, it highlights a lot of Black authors, how they displayed the books were very well done. There was like a very by the window, there was like a nook, which it looked like it was a sitting nook, but it was a sitting place for the event because I think I saw a family
Yeah.
sitting there and listening to Tara as she was reading from her book and listening to the author discussion, and also the author who was interviewing Tara. I can't believe I forgot her name.
It's isn't it New?
Nue, yes. And she did a great job as well. Yeah, like she acts very insightful and entertaining questions and really diving into the book and getting to know like Tara, like how Tara writes and into her craft. And we even talked to her a little bit
Hmm.
afterwards the event. And she's from the Bronx. She doesn't live there now, but she is from the Bronx, and it's
Yeah.
really talking with her about that as well. But I really like um, I enjoyed the bookstore. I enjoyed the event. I really, I wish more book events were like that in a more like
Yeah.
intimate setting instead of just like this
Massive
huge,
thing
yeah,
like
huge,
what Barnes and
massive
Noble
thing.
does.
Yeah, and I mean,
I also like the
Barnes
fact
and
that it
Noble or
was
the Strand or
free.
yeah, that too,
More
because it
free
is
book events, please.
yeah, because it is really annoying that in order for you, because the Barnes and Noble at Union Square, they do that a lot. You have to buy a ticket in
Hmm.
order, and depending on the author, it will
Include the book.
include it will include the book. But I'm like, well, because some people didn't necessarily buy the book um by Tara. They just
Yeah.
wanted to come in to see like, oh, here she is like talking about her book. They just wanted to be there for the author discussion, which was
Yeah.
really great and to have.
And there were actually other authors there, just other than Tara, like
Hmm.
another author, Jason Powell.
Yeah, Jason Powell. Yeah.
uh had come in, and I guess he's friends with Tara, and who he mentioned while we were at ALA. And for those of you that don't know what ALA is, that's the American Library Association. And they have a conference every June in a different city every year. And last year it was in Philly. And that's where we saw Tara for the second time. This is our third
Yeah.
time seeing Tara.
Yeah.
Um, and we met her the first time we met her was when her book about Savannah came out. Savannah something.
That was her first book, One Summer in Savannah.
One summer in
Second,
Savannah.
yeah, the second book, I forget what the book is, but it has an orange and purple cover. Long time. Well, it was in Chicago. Was it in Chicago? I don't
Yes.
know. I think it was in Chicago.
Long after we're gone. I
Yes, long
remember
after we're
one,
gone.
yeah, I remember one summer in Savannah, and that was when we were in Chicago.
Okay, so I'm
Because last,
thinking
yeah, because 2023 was, yeah, no,
Chicago.
yeah, it was Tara. Yeah, once 2023, One Summer in Savannah came out. I have a copy of that book.
Yes,
And
and
then long after we're
2023.
gone, I don't. And then when we went to Philly last year,
Yeah,
it
we
was
got where the
Where the Wild
wild.
Things Grow.
Yeah, and then also 2023 was not Chicago because ALA was in San Diego. 2022 was Chicago.
Was it? It was that long ago where we got trapped.
Yes, yes, it was. The Chicago is
Trapped.
that's
We got
another
trapped.
podcast episode.
Oh my God. The time we got trapped in Chicago.
Yes.
At least you got home before me, but yes. Um,
it was it, it was still like a never again. I will again.
no,
We could have an entire podcast
oh
episode
my God.
and
I think
get like other
it,
people coming on and saying yes, the
I
turmoil that we went
I
through.
mean, I think it's cursed kind of because now it's back in Chicago and all of the travel BS is happening. Like TSA is not getting paid. And so there's long wait times, flights are getting canceled. I'm like, glad I'm deciding not to go this year, but next
Exactly.
year
It's
it's
in New
in New
Orleans, so
Orleans.
yeah, so they better get their
So
act together because
yeah, because we're all fighting.
hey, not necessarily going to ALA. I just
No,
want to go
yeah.
to New Orleans.
Yeah. I was just like, I don't, yeah, I kind of want to try and go before then because I don't know if I want my first time to be in New Orleans to be for work or in
Yeah,
June.
yeah, I
But
know.
yeah, I'm just like, ooh, that's gonna be. But I am here for the the cemetery tours. Like, I don't really like beignets that much, but um, because yeah, but just here for just typical librarian debauchery because librarians know how to get down because everything is so bleak.
Yeah.
And we have to numb the pain somehow. Um, but back to the bookstore. Uh,
Mhm.
it was all around a good time. We hope to have one of these conversations, either like the two of us or bringing author in to Taylor and Co. But we also want to support the Bronx because that's where we live and that's what's easiest for us to get around. And there is a couple bookstores in the Bronx. There's obviously the Lip Bar, probably the most not I wouldn't say most famous isn't the right word, but like when it opened, it was just like because
Most
it,
noteworthy.
it was very noteworthy
Yeah.
because it was the first bookstore in the Bronx that had opened since Barnes and Noble closed in Co-op City.
Mm.
And so now there's another one that opened called Nefer or Nefer. It's Nefer Book
Mhm.
Cafe. And it's at the end of, and so for those of you that are gonna watch this, it's at the end of the two line. So it's in like the Wakefield neighborhood of the Bronx, like literally the last stop on the two at 241st Street, um, and White Plains Road. So I don't live too far from there. So I think on a day where I don't have to go into the office, but don't necessarily want to work from home, I might kind of make a pilgrimage to kind of scope it out. Um,
Hmm.
but definitely would love to go back to Taylor and Co. Um, but that's definitely gonna have to be like an all-day journey kind of planning
Yeah,
just to get our $3 worth out of it.
it really is.
And
It's
our
like
$3 an hour and a half
it is a
uh
trek.
train or express bus ride.
Yeah, because it's like if you're taking the express bus, you can from the Bronx, you can. I think now knowing that the queue is the one only one that goes all the way down, just like catch the queue from maybe 86th Street or 96th Street and go to Second Ave and catch the queue there, and that way you'll get onto the train. Like you'll have a seat on the train.
Yeah.
So when you head towards like the more congested stops, like 59th Street and 34th and 14th, then you will have a comfortable seat when you're heading all the way down to like deep Brooklyn.
Yeah. 100%. So support Taylor and Co. But
Mhm,
now let's move on to like the reason why we're all here. Like you and me and um future watchers of this or listeners.
mhm.
You're gonna learn a little bit about me and Tabrija. Um, so first of all, who are we? Tabrija, you go first.
Oh wow. Okay.
This is not an existential question.
I feel like it is. And this is like the second time I've been asked with existential question. Um, so I am a librarian in New York City. Been a librarian for close to 10 years. It'll be 11 in a couple of months.
Dang.
Um, but yeah, um, and I work primarily for the young adult, but I I feel a lot of questions from children and from adults. So I like to consider myself an all age librarian because I also read a lot of books from all ages, not like necessarily just young adult ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
am.
I'm Whitney, and my just so we're all clear, I use she, they pronouns. My preferred pronouns are they, but if you say she, I won't be mad. I won't be mad about it. Just don't use he because I will fight you. And I am also, well, I guess technically I'm not a librarian. I have the degree. But I used to be a YA librarian, like branch librarian in the Bronx. I got promoted. I got
She used,
promoted.
if you're listening, she used quotation marks when she said that.
Yes. Um, I got promoted about 3 years ago. Actually, like 3 years ago, since January. It's
That
been three
seems
years since
so,
January
that seems
2023.
so long
Crazy.
ago.
Oh my God. I do feel like I've had this job forever. I still work with teens. I'm still in the teen sphere. I just do stuff more behind the scenes and I do large scale citywide events for teens, both in person and online. Um, so that's that's what we do. And I've been a librarian since for 13 years actually, because I was a
Oh wow.
librarian. Yeah, I was a librarian before I And that's one thing. I will always mention that I am from Rochester, New York, born and raised. Um, I've had the 585 till I die. I've had the same phone number for like 25 years now. Since I was like 16, I think. Yeah, since I was 16, I've had the same phone number since I was 16. And
Oh, wow.
I became a librarian up in Rochester, did that, and then I moved here to be a librarian. That's the reason why I moved here. And I've been in New York City for 10 years, going on 11, so about 10 and a half years now, which is crazy. It feels like but if you ask anybody on the street, if anyone on the street asks, I'm from the Bronx. And I feel like because I've been here for 10 years, I'm allowed to say that. I'm not a gentrifier because I am broke. I and
God.
I as an individual cannot enact any or affect anyone else's change in how they live in this building. I can barely afford it. Uh, but I think that's a little bit about us. I guess if you want to know more, oh, how did we meet? We met because we work together, but
Yeah. I do not remember the first
I don't know how we
day we
met. I
met.
don't know how
I
we
really
officially
don't.
met either. That's crazy because we got hired
The
at
same.
the same about a month apart. I think we got
Yeah.
hired, but we got hired
Yeah.
like this around the same time, but a month apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're
I
all
think it
vested
was,
now.
yeah.
We're vested. I was vested a while ago, but we're vested now, officially. No one's gonna steal our benefits when we're old.
No, but I think it had to be like a YA training.
Probably.
That's all I can, but I don't, because it's not like, so we have another friend for our listeners, Adina,
Shout
who
out to
me,
the
yeah, who might occasionally come on here. Um, Adina and I started on the exact same day. We
yeah.
are on orientation. So that I remember because we we had to like break up into groups and Adina and I looked at each other. We're like, we don't want to do this. But then we're like, oh wait, we seem to not want to do this. Do you want us to not be in a group together?
Yeah.
and and that's how that friendship started.
I don't even, yeah. I think any friends, most of the friends that I made during like the HR orientation no longer works at NYPL. And I'm just like, oh, I wish,
It's
oh,
the
I
same with
hope.
the
Yeah.
yeah, it's the same with us. Other than one other person, she's still
Yeah.
with an NYPL, and she started the same day Adina and I.
Yeah.
But other than that, everyone else
Did you
is
meet Karen? Was Karen in yours or did Karen start?
no.
Yeah.
Karen
Okay.
started
We have another
way
friend,
after. Yeah.
but
Karen
who
started, I'm
now
gonna
lives
say
in
January.
Japan, living her best
Yeah,
life with her
I
husband.
know.
Like,
um
hopefully she'll let us crash her house.
I know, let's hope so.
Um, but yes. But yeah, so we've known each other for pretty much
10 years.
10 years since I came here and started to be a librarian and uh our friendship has evolved obviously outside of work. We are now uh friends in real life. Well, we've always been friends in real life, but like now we're doing
But we
podcasts together.
yeah, exactly. We're able to like, do stuff that goes way beyond work. And
Yes.
yeah.
Um, but what's funny is I talk about Tabrija, who I lovingly call T Breezy. My best friend had called me before we started recording this, and she's like, "Tell Tabrija I said hi." I was just like, so my best friend says hi to Tabrija.
Oh, okay. Tell her hi back.
I will. Um, so let's get into our favorites. We're gonna keep this positive. So you're not gonna get any of our dislikes. You're gonna get our dislikes in our author talks when Tabrisha does the this or that. And I say how much I lovingly love uh how much I love dog earing pages in books.
Oh my God.
Uh, we're
And yeah, I will say, tying back to the book event that we went to this past week, I did get one person who clearly saw Whitney dog earing a page, stopped her and said, "What are you doing? I have a bookmark for you." She was like, I it felt like the pages were crying out
Oh
to
my
me.
God.
Here's a bookmark.
Me, meanwhile, her colleague, because they worked for the publisher who published
Yeah,
Tara's book. Meanwhile, her colleague was like, "Yeah, dog eat the page. It's just a book." And I
I
was
know.
like, "Thank you." So we're still split. We're still divided, and I think that's
I
fine.
I forgive her. I forgive the
I
person for the
should,
publisher because she
I
gave
should get
me
the
a lovely book.
same. I should get the same grace. I should get the same grace. I don't care. But moving on, what uh since I've always put it on you, Teresa, I'll go first. Our favorite books or like books that have had a lasting impact on us. And I will say my favorite book of all time is Her Stories by Virginia Hamilton, because it's the first time as like a child, as a preteen, it's the first time I read a book where fairy tales were and featured nothing but Black people and were about Black people, but they were like still the classic fairy tales of like Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid. So it was that, but it was just like, but Black. And I'm just like that has kind of stuck with me yes, yes, this, but make it Black. And she's just like the epitome of that. And that's just kind of like that book has like really stuck with me to the point where I'm pretty sure I wrote my like in one of my librarian master's classes because you unfortunately need a master's to be a librarian. I
Mhm.
definitely wrote one of my like class papers on her or did like a report on her. Um, and then I'm gonna cheat a little bit too, is what I wasn't a huge reader as like other than like assigned reading in high school, but when I did read, was obsessed with and I'm sure this informs the fact that I went to school in white suburbia. Um I was obsessed with Hairstyles of the Damned and the Blue is for Magic series. Um, I just remembered really like devouring those books as a teen. And that's because kind of when it feels like I was reading an actual teen book. Like I was a teen
Mhm.
reading YA. Of course, like every teen reads like a little bit older, but I feel
Mhm.
like I was like I was a teen actually reading YA books as a like at that age. So it's kind of like kind of crazy. And I'm not someone that necessarily reads fantasy, but I always love a good romance. I'm definitely, and we can kind of skip. I'll pass it to you because there is like a what are our favorite genres kind of question.
Mhm.
So I'll kick it to you to read it before I get too in the weeds.
Um, so if you're a follower of my blog and of my social media accounts, you already know this that my favorite book is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I was introduced to it when I was a little girl when the Pride and Prejudice adaptation, the 1995 one that was coming out on BBC in the UK, but in the US it came on A&E. And I was just enamored with this dramatization of this novel. I absolutely loved it. Like the scenery, the music, the acting. And then when my mom told me it was actually a book, I was like, well, we have to go to the bookstore and the library to get this book. I was like, what? How is this a book? And she would help me like read passages from it. And just from then on, I absolutely fell in love with the book. I tried to read it at least once a year because it's just one of those books that and also the other books by Jane Austen.
Mm,
Um, she it just provides a comforting feel with her wit and humor and also the social commentary that she provides in her
yeah.
narration. Um, I mean, I could, yeah, dive into like other books that have been that have had like some sort of impact with me, but I'd probably just stick with Pride and Prejudice for now because we could
Yeah.
we could go
You don't want to talk
on.
about Mary Shelley?
Okay, well, that's my
Maybe not.
second favorite book.
Maybe not.
Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I think that is probably the only, to this day, the only science fiction novel that I can endure
Hmm.
and actually enjoy and read because the fact that she wrote it in like in a night, that's one. The
Yeah.
fact that she wrote it when she was just a teenager, that's
Yeah.
two. And the imagination that she had when there was just so much death and like horror around her. If you have never like looked in the background of Mary Shelley and her life, just please do because it's just very
Yeah.
fascinating. Um, Especially with having a because her mother was Mary Wollstonecraft, who wrote
Yeah.
*The Vindication Rights of Women*, and like Mary Shelley, like from day one, from her birth, it's just like it's been a tragedy, like
Hmm.
all the time, because her mother unfortunately died when a few days after giving birth to her. Um, so yeah, like with Mary Shelley, she's just a very like a fascinating writer, and with Frankenstein, you can really see the talent
Yeah.
and um and the uniqueness in her writing. And Frankenstein is, yeah, it's just one of those great examples of Gothic literature that I highly recommend everyone reading. Another conversation about the movies, but that's we're gonna move away from that. Read the
That's
book.
that's a Whitney and Teresa debate for
Yeah,
next time.
yeah.
Um, so Teresa and I also love to see movies together. Um, Tarisha, and again, this is a future conversation. Tarisha and I read very different genres, um, and enjoy very different genres, but we like still like there's some crossover there. But what we do have a shared love for is horror movies. Um, but I don't know if that is your favorite movie, Tarisha. I don't know if I know what your favorite movie is.
And it is hard to whenever like anytime people think about the like ask me this, I'm like, it is hard
Yeah.
because I like a variety of different things with movies.
Hmm.
So it can't really, it's hard for me to pinpoint, oh, yeah, that's my favorite movie. Because if I really was to say what my if people were asked like, oh, your favorite movie is a movie that you watch many so many times over and over and over again. It, the only movie I did that was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie.
Hey, hey, I have that on tape. There is no judgment here. It is fantastic. There is no, I have that on tape, or I might have it on like with Ivan Ooze. Hell yeah. Adam, yo, Anime NYC this summer is bringing back Johnny Young Bosch, aka Adam the Black Ranger. I will be going. Tabrisha and I will both be getting, both have a free ticket, and he will be there on the Friday that we will be going. So I will be seeing Johnny Young Bosch. And yes, my man, my man, my man, but not really, obviously. Um,
Um,
but
so I have that movie,
I
but
mean, you don't
if
have to pick just one, by the way.
I know, and and there isn't, but I'm gonna stick to one. But if there is really one that I do watch continuously and one that I always go back to, it is I would say Scream.
Scream. Yeah, we just
Yeah,
saw Scream. We're not gonna, no spoilers, but we liked
yeah,
it despite the controversy. We all like
yeah,
that surrounds it with like the casting and the fact that they had to kind of redo it from scratch. I think it went really well.
yeah. It did, and it's
Uh,
like it's my first. It was my first like horror slasher movie that I ever saw, and it's just like very well done. And it's probably one
mhm.
of the few scary movies that I can go and see and watch by myself without
Yeah.
having nightmares.
You
So
know, I think the first Scream was not the first Scream that I watched, actually.
if you can't watch the rest of the movies without
I
watching
think I
the
saw
first,
I think I saw the second one first. I don't know how.
no.
Or maybe it was one of those things where it was like on TV and I just like never really and it was just on. But I
Mm-hmm.
do love the Scream series. I do love the Scream series. If I had to say my favorite movie, I tell this to anyone who asks, but it's probably changed. But The Faculty.
Oh,
I have that on
yes.
DVD. It's one of my favorite. It, came into my formative it came into my formative years. Um, like Elijah Wood had just right before Elijah started filming Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But I think it came out right before Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah, because
Uh
he was like still like a child actor and going
yeah.
into the teenage because I think he did Flipper or something.
Yeah. Sean Hattasey, who is now like aged like a fine wine, Usher in his
Yeah,
first in his first acting role.
I remember that.
Jordana Brewster, who is in my favorite movie series of all time, Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you didn't say that.
Because I
Like,
don't know, I think for me it's just like I watch it. Um, I can quote Fast and Furious. I think as a whole, it's my favorite series, but like I don't know. There's always something about the first one. The first one is fantastic. I can quote it to the end of my life. Vin Diesel, saved lives, but The Faculty would probably have to, even though I have not watched The Faculty in a minute, but I feel like if I had to switch my favorite movie, switch it to another movie, it would probably be Air Force One with Harrison Ford.
that's so random.
That
I
is,
would never.
bro, it's one of those movies that like I don't own it, but I will watch it every time it comes on TV. Similar
Oh,
to Independence Day too. It
yeah.
was on TV last night and I just watched
Um,
and I watched like it was only 30 minutes left and I watched it.
it was just like it's the same like with Armageddon. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'll just if it's on TV, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna watch it because I really
right.
enjoy it. I do think it's like scientifically inaccurate, but
Of
it's an
course. The Michael
enjoyable.
Bay movie. It's
And I
a
used to
Michael Bay movie.
and I
I
used
just
to say
forget.
like and speaking of Michael Bay, I used to say like Transformers was like
Oh
my
my
movie
God.
to go to.
Do you remember where you were or like did you freak out when like the first trailer for the very first one dropped? I freaked out.
I don't remember how I reacted, but I I did go see it with my best friend and we enjoyed it like very well. Especially like I know the second one got a lot of flack, but hey, we went to see it, we enjoyed it. The entire movie theater enjoyed it because as
Yeah,
soon as like Optimus Prime like started speaking,
bruh.
everyone clapped and they were like, "Yeah,
When
this is
I feel
great."
like from night, like when did the first Transformers movie?
It was like 2007, 8. It was
Tra-
like the like about like 2010 and stuff.
yeah, I'm like looking at the 2007 for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And also Linkin Park did like the song.
oh
And
yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm in. Like I'm all in.
Yeah. So yeah, 2000 I feel like from 1998 to 2007 was such a good like stretch for movies and then like who knows what's
It just
happening
went
now.
well because then I honestly think it was when Marvel came along and decided to do Iron Man and love Iron Man. And but I think when they started doing the superhero movies, that's when it started like
Yeah.
going downhill. In my opinion,
Yeah,
that's when it started going downhill.
but we can save that for a future topic.
Mhm.
And so with that, I know we kind of hinted at it earlier within like this conversation, but what are some of our favorite genres in books or film? I'll go first. I love when it comes to movies, at the very least, I love spy, espionage, and assassins, and I like revenge. So it's like John Wick, also one of my favorite series. Like I love revenge. I love like spies, so like the James Bond movies. Um, any type of like secret society type stuff. But not in a scary way. More like again, the world of John Wick is a secret society, but they're also assassins and like these underground networks. Um, so I like spy and espionage movies. I don't necessarily like war movies. I do oh that's all. I do not like war movies.
Yeah.
Um, or I don't like The Godfather. I don't really do like mafia. If the mafia is
Mhm.
in it, I guess. But if it's like about the mafia, like Godfather, Sopranos, I'm not really
Mhm.
feeling it. But for yeah, if it has if a movie has like a strong revenge plot or like a get back plot, like like a Taken type thing, or it has like spies. And then, all of my favorites have all of those elements in it, like Taken, John Wick, Bond, all the James Bond films, even Air Force One, actually. Um, and then for books, I'm a huge romance person. I like romance, particularly like queer romance. But I'll read and especially if the characters, at least one character for me has to be of color. One main character has to be of color. Uh, double stars if it's two characters of color. Um, that's just my personal preference. But like queer romance, I'm good with like if there's other plot points, but as long as there's like a strong romance arc, like I'll read like a regular fiction book, but there has to be like a romance, like some type of romance arc
Mhm.
in there to kind of keep my interest. Or just like if it doesn't, usually if I read something that doesn't have like a strong romance um tied to it, it's normally a graphic novel, to be honest. Like like or a manga like Bleach or something, like I'll watch that. I'll read or watch that. But for my preference, if I'm spending my free time reading, it's gonna be a romance book. What about you, Sabrisha?
Um, I my go-to genre is mystery and thriller. I've always enjoyed reading that ever since I was a kid. Love the Nancy Drew series. Um, mm, I have to be in the mood for romance, and romance, it's like with me, it's hit and miss. It can't
Yeah.
just be. It has to be a. I think I probably prefer slow burn romance, but it just has to be very well done. It just doesn't have
Hmm.
to be like overwhelmingly like steamy in the sense like you can have some steaminess in it. I'm not a prude or anything, but just like
Yeah.
not overwhelmingly. And if it is, it has to be well done.
Hmm.
And that's why it's like romance is one of the genres that like I kind of stay away from unless it's like in comic book format because I feel like in with graphic novels and manga, it's done very well there. So I
Yeah.
tend to read in comic book format, that genre.
Hmm.
But for books, yeah, mystery and thriller. I I do enjoy reading the classics. I do like literary fiction, but or like even like general fiction, like Jojo Moyes or Candace Carty Williams, that kind of like self-reflective fiction. I kind of like not necessarily like the woman gets the guy or the woman figures it all. It figures everything out. It's like no, well, shit happens and shit is probably going to happen as soon as you close the book, but they have some kind of understanding of like a better experience towards the end. So I like those kind of books. Also like family fiction as well. Um, I'm very particular about young adult. Um, I do enjoy them better in comic book format, but with young adult, I do like it better when it's from the UK because I feel like
Hmm.
they do it a little bit better. But there are some American and Canadian and even like Asian authors who I always highly recommend because
Right.
they do it very well. But 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 yeah, maybe I just have not encountered like the right YA book, but it just they always tend to like crash and burn with me most of the time. But but yeah, that
Yeah.
was yeah.
So, as you can see, we read different things, but there are some things that I do like mystery, or if like there's an element of mystery. But notice how we didn't say fantasy or sci-fi. But
Uh
we'll keep it. That's for the other podcast that we're.
and it seems that that has to be yeah. I have to that's also hit or miss too.
Yeah, I'm on a campaign to make books shorter again because heavy on the sci-fi and fantasy ones too.
Yeah.
So lastly, before we kind of end it, we're gonna have two more things. What is our favorite foods and what are our favorite beverages? Tabrija, go.
Favorite food, pasta.
What any
Pasta.
particular pasta?
I do like the I'm gonna make sure I'm
Like it
pronouncing it
like
right.
Italian, like
Italian pasta. Yeah,
uh,
like cavatappi, the corkscrew pasta.
mm,
And I also do like a good ravioli, which is like stuffed in like different things, either like chicken, sausage, or
ooh,
mushrooms or butternut squash.
not
So I always enjoy pasta. And my favorite beverage is tea.
obviously.
Yeah,
That is
that's the answer.
the name of this
Yeah.
podcast is the
Yes.
blog. Um, I would have to say this is more of an existential crisis than the first one. Like, who are we? Um, I think. My favorite food. There, I think it's like I'm of two minds about this. Like my absolute favorite food, I would probably say is baked mac and cheese. Baked mac and
Good.
cheese is, and it's like the way my grandmother makes it. I like it wasn't the worst mac and cheese. Well, there's mac and cheese and then there's macaroni pie, and I'm assuming I had
Mm.
macaroni pie, which anyway, but I am yeah, I'm a macaroni and cheese person. I don't eat it often, and you shouldn't
Me
because it's mac
neither.
and cheese, obviously. But yeah, I think if I had to do it, I it's mac and cheese. But I do also love eggs. Like I eat eggs pretty much every day. Because it's the only because I need a protein, and it's like I can't just do. I don't feel full off of like a yogurt or like or like a peanut butter smoothie or something like a milky smoothie. I don't feel full off that. It's just like I will be starving literally in 30 minutes. So like an egg, at least having an egg will make me not feel ravenous. So I need like that type of protein. And then my favorite beverage is definitely coffee. I will have at least 2 to 3 cups, 2 to 3 mugs of coffee because my mugs are bowl sized in like I have a set of mugs that are bowl sized and that
Central perk.
yeah,
Central
basically.
perk part.
So that is and when I ordered it it said it held 4 cups. So 4 cups in the morning and then on my way to work, I'll stop and get an iced coffee or I'll get an iced coffee during like my lunch on my lunch. So
Oh my
which is about
God.
8 to 16 ounces depending on. So that is my addiction, but I'm also really addicted. I've recently become quote unquote addicted to Coke Zero. Oh my God. I was like, no, I don't do Diet Coke. I think it's gross, but it's not Diet Coke because it doesn't have that sweet and low aspartame taste.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't have that. And it's so, I wouldn't say it's good. It's like Coca-Cola. You shouldn't be buying it, but sometimes when I don't want coffee but still want caffeine, I'll get like a Coke or a Pepsi. Um, And a story, a quick story time before we end things is let me tell you y'all about the time. I think I told you this story actually to Bridget about the time I almost almost died for being over caffeinated.
Oh my, no, you did not tell me this.
Yeah. And not literally die, but I was definitely bouncing off the walls. I went to the grocery store like before I ate anything or like got up early, went to the grocery store in your neck of the woods.
Hmm.
And well, you know how they have like those grab and go things while you're waiting for the line. I grabbed a Celsius, which is like a very sugary, carbonated, very caffeinated drink. And I drank it. I paid for it. I drank it on my way home. And then I went home and made a cup of coffee and drank that.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, why am I cleaning my whole house right now?
Because you have so much energy. Oh my
Why am I
God.
shaking? Why am I like like Jerome Biggums over here? Like and then I realized like
Like,
what's the equivalent of probably 10 cups of coffee?
oh my God.
So that's the time I over caffeinated myself and probably almost gave myself a heart attack. But because to me it's like it didn't register that I was drinking something caffeinated and like caffeinated is coffee is supposed to taste like coffee and not like
Hmm. Yeah.
So I was just so it didn't register in my mind that I over caffeinated myself. Um
Oh my God. And this is why tea is so much
Look,
better because there's caffeine.
I love my bean water. I love my dirty bean water. And sometimes a tea, whether it's caffeinated or not, just doesn't hit the same. I like the
There's
flavor.
not that much caffeine. It's just like
No,
very,
no, that's what I
very
mean.
small.
No, that's what I mean. Like it's not enough caffeine. Tea is for when I'm trying to get cozy, I'm sick, I'm either sick or I just want to or it's like really cold outside and they didn't turn my heat on yet and I just need something to warm up and it's too late to actually make a pot of coffee.
Oh my God.
Um so with that, we have two more things. So we do have we are almost in April.
I
So you
know.
can, yes. So you can find Tabrija, if this gets posted by then, which maybe it will, maybe it won't, who knows. You can find Tabrija at BookCon. I was not fortunate enough, which takes place April 18th and 19th,
18th and 19th. Yeah. At the
um,
Javits Center.
at the Javits Center. So if you hear our lovely voices, see our lovely faces, say hi to Debrija. I was not fortunate enough, and with all this stuff I'm hearing, I'm kind of not mad that I'm missing it. To snag a BookCon ticket. But the Brooklyn Independent Comic Showcase is that same weekend, so I am planning to go to that, and it's free. Plus, the food will be better because it's an industry city, so I will definitely be
And
hitting up
cheaper.
and cheaper. So I will definitely be hitting up the sake place that's there, and definitely getting the hitting up the Japanese food court where like the Jap across from the Japanese
Mhm.
market in there.
Mhm.
Or getting barbecue if the weather is nice enough.
Oh, I remember the barbecue there. Oh my God, that was so good.
Yeah, so I might get barbecue actually. But we'll see. So with that, we're gonna wrap up short and sweet. We hope that you enjoyed getting to know us. We'll be doing these one-on-one podcast conversations intermittently, so we hope you tune in for those. But stay tuned for more author talks and other bookish conversations. If you're interested in being a guest, visit cupofteawiththatbookplease.com or email us at info@cupofteawiththatbookplease.com. And we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See you next time. Bye.